Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my wind-up Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for June 2025. I'll continue to update the wind-up deck until we finally see wind-up Zenmaity off of the ban list, with the card just being a special summon card for the deck, being more generic, but can definitely open up a lot of options for the deck. We may have to see wind-up Hunter, also hit on the same list that Zenmaity comes off the list, but still, I would like to see this card potentially come off the list at one point, just for the overall playstyle of the deck to change for the better for all the wind-up monsters. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for those who don't know, the wind-up monsters focus on being able to have a monster effect on the field, but only be able to use it once while that card is on the field. So the big play is just to continuously reuse our wind-up monsters. So we run 3 copies of wind-up rat. During your main phase, you can target one wind-up monster in your graveyard, change this face-up attack position monster to face-up defense, and then special summon that target in face-up defense. This effect can only be used once while this card's face-up on the field. So wind-up rat just gives you a resource from the graveyard. It doesn't negate the effect of that other wind-up that you summon, but you can only use the effect of rat once while it's face-up on the field. So ideally with Zenmaity, you could overlay the two, summon out another rat, and then be able to use that rat for the next effect. But sadly, we don't have Zenmaity, so we have to make do with just the plays we can use with our different wind-up monsters. And we're also running the 3 copies of Wind-Up Magician. If the effect of a Wind-Up monster is activated, except for Magician, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Wind-Up monster from your deck in face-up defense. This effect can only be used once while this card's face-up on the field. So being able to just have this card grab you an additional resource from the deck can continue your plays, just needing to set up your Wind-Up Magician on the field initially for that play to be able to do so. And the 3 copies of Wind-Up Shark, which Shark could also be one of the monsters used for that play. When a wind-up monster is normal or special summon to your side of the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So you can summon out your wind-up magician, then summon out Shark, and then Shark can use its effect to increase or decrease its level by 1, then triggering the effect of the magician to give you 1 additional monster on the field on top of the wind-up Shark. And some of the other numbers we run, 2 copies of Wind-Up Rabbit. The reason we run doubles for a good number of the monsters is for the Wind-Up Zen Maintenance that we run, being able to banish a face-up Wind-Up monster we control, face down, and special summon 1 monster from the deck with the same name that card had on the field. So then we have the added monster to be able to grab with the additional name. Wind-Up Rabbit having another banish effect during either player's turn to target a Wind-Up monster you control, banish it until your next standby phase. This effect will only be used once while this card's face-up on the field. So being able to grab that other additional monster, but then if you banish Wind-Up Rabbit, then you summon another one, you have that other banish effect ready to go. 2 copies of Wind-Up Soldier. During main phase, you can increase this card's level by 1 and attack by 400. So another card that can just be utilized with Magician on the field on top of other plays. The 2 copies of Wind-Up Kitten for the bounce power. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. Once again, only being able to be used once while this card's on the field, but if you banish Kitten off of Zen Maintenance, then summoning another one, that's a second bounce effect to be able to use against your opponent, with the other remaining monsters being 2 copies of Wind-Up Knight. While this card's face up, when a Wind-Up monster is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack. This is going to be used once while it's face up on the field. So just an attack negation card on top of that as well, with our next one being Wind-Up Warrior, having the option to target a face up Wind-Up monster you control till the end of the phase, increase its level by 1 and its attack by 600. So very similar to Wind-Up Soldier, just with being able to choose the Wind-Up monster on the field to be able to do so. And then lastly, the 1-ofs being 1 Wind-Up Hunter, 1 Wind-Up Snail, and then the 1 Wind-Up Dog. Now you really only need the 1-ofs for these. If you didn't want to run these individual 1-ofs, you could always drop down some of the numbers of, let's say, Knight, Kitten, Warrior, Soldier, and these cards, and then mix around those numbers, depending on how many you want to run, with your additional hand traps that you could run in the deck as well for these cards, including Infinite Impermanence, Ash Blossom, you name it, just those spots to replace these cards for the hand trap lineup. For the spells, we're running 3 copies of Wind-Up Factory. One of the best cards in the deck. Once per turn, if an effect of a Wind-Up monster is activated, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Wind-Up monster from your deck to your hand. So it is a once per turn, but if you have multiple Factory, that can give you multiple searches. Thanks to this card, that's why we're running 3 of this card, so we can always have the available ready search for your Wind-Up monster. 2 copies of Legendary Wind-Up Key. Change all face-up Wind-Up monsters you control to face-down defense. So this is meant to be able to refresh your Wind-Up monsters as well, since if you can activate this card, let's say on your opponent's turn, you can flip down the remaining Wind-Up monster on your field, face down, flip face up, and then be able to use that card effect again. Also, 2 copies of Zen Mail Function. Target 1 Wind-Up monster in your graveyard, special summon in face-up defense. defense, its effects negated, and it cannot be attributed or used for synchro material, but you can still use it for link power and also Xyz power with the monster that you summon out onto the field. We just need a good number of special summon targets in the deck. That's why we're running 2 copies of Zen Malfunction, the 3 copies of World Legacy Succession, just so we have more options to be able to summon out to the arrows that are Wind Up Zen Maintenance, also point 2 on the field. 2 copies of Pot of Desire. With the play testing I've done, I was pretty happy just with the banished results. Usually there are always multiple cards drawn into my hand and then additional cards in the deck to be able to use. You just need that hand consistency with this deck, so 2 of this always comes in handy for the draw power, along with 1 Monster Reborn, the 1 Foolish Burial to set up a monster for Wind Up Rat, the 1 Instant Fusion for an additional fusion target to summon out to the field to use for the Xyz plays, and then the 1 Reinforcements of the Army, being able to search out a wide variety of wind-up monsters in the form of a warrior monster, thanks to this card alone. And then for the traps, also mentioned the spots already for the hand traps in the deck, but if you wanted to run additional ones, just like I said, reduce the number of the wind-up monsters we run in the deck. But I am running 2 copies of the Trap Zen Maelstrom. Tribute 1 wind-up monster with 1500 more attack, special summon 1 wind-up monster from your hand, then you can special summon 1 wind-up monster from your deck with the same attack as the monster special summon by this effect. So just multiple special summon options as well, just needing the 1 wind-up monster and then having the same attack as that monster. You tribute a wind-up monster with 1500 more attack and special summon 1 from your hand, so it can just give you more and more resources after you, let's say you've used 1 on the field, giving you bigger and bigger ones thanks to this card also from your hand and the deck. For the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of Wind Up Zen Mains. If a face-up card on the field will be destroyed, or this face-up card, you can detach 1 Xyz material from it instead, and once per turn during the end phase, if this effect was used, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So it's a wind-up monster on top of everything else to easily be able to overlay into with our level 3 options in the deck, and then having destruction power on top of it to wind up Zen Mao. Same destruction power, just with set cards on the field. Once per turn, detaching 1 Xyz material, targeting 2 set cards on the field, and destroying them. The one that I don't have in the deck is Zen Meister. I was debating running it, but still liking some of the other rank 4 options over that card in the deck, since Legendary Wind-Up Key can basically do the same thing, with some of our other Xyz monsters being 1 Phantom Knight of Breaksword, 1 Eclipse Twin. I really do like this one. If we can go into multiple other Xyz plays when sent to the graveyard finally, then we can just summon back those monsters as reusable material, thanks to this card as well. Being able to use this card for that summon 2 other rank 4 lower monsters and summon them out, and then attach the other to it. The 1 Baguska, along with the 1 Tornado Dragon, and then the 1 Zeus and 1 Sky Crisis to finish off the rest of the Xyz monsters, with our link monsters being the 2 copies of Zen Maintenance. With this card, if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target a wind-up Xyz you control and attach this card to it as material. You can only use each effect of wind-ups and maintenance per turn. If it's link summon, you can add 1 wind-up card from your deck to your hand, including the wind-up factory, thanks to this card. And you can banish a face-up wind-up monster you control face down to special summon 1 from your deck with the same name as that card had on the field. So this is the additional special summon play we mentioned before, and why we want to run multiple copies of the wind-up cards in the deck, with the rest of the extra deck monsters being the 1 Donner Dagger for Hire, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and then the 1 Dragoness the Wicked Knight as the instant fusion target to be able to summon out in the deck. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, as I mentioned before, Wind-Up Magician can help to set up a good number of plays. So if we have this in Shark in our hand, we can summon out our Wind-Up Magician, then use the effect of Shark in hand to special summon it to the field, activate the effect, reducing its level by 1. This will then trigger the Wind-Up Magician to give you an additional special summon onto the field also. So with this card being able to special summon it in face-up defense, you want to grab that additional resource from your deck. So then you can summon out the Wind-Up monster of choice, being Wind-Up Warrior, for this one particular play, because then you can use the effect of Warrior to either increase the level or decrease of another one on the field as well for that play, or you could go for the additional summon of your Link monster, being your go-to summon and setup with your 2 monsters. You can either go for the Shark and the Warrior play, which will then leave you the Magician on the play. Zen Maintenance will summon, being able to use this effect to add an additional wind-up card. So you can add Wind-Up Factory, activating your factory as well, and then being able to make use of the effect of Zen Maintenance to then banish your Magician for this play, to then summon out an additional Magician to the field as well. The Wind-Up Factory will activate since you activate the effect of a Wind-Up monster as well, adding a level 4 lower wind-up monster from your deck to your hand. So then this initial play will be your add of your additional Wind-Up Shark as well, and then being able to use the additional play for your monster, if it has that additional summon, for you on the field to use with your other wind-up monster ready in the hand also. Some of the other plays involve the use of wind-up rat, as mentioned before, with this card needing the monster set up in the graveyard already to be able to do so. So with this summon, we have the search, which once again you have to remember the special summon play for your wind-up monster. You can use the magician and shark play that we mentioned before, having the level adjustment to summon out the rat as mentioned before as well, using the 2 for a link play, and then summoning out your Zen Maintenance, grabbing the same factory play, then using the effect of Zen Maintenance to banish the face-up wind-up monster face down to special summon one from the same name that it had on the field. So then you can summon out your rat onto the field thanks to that play as well. Then using the initial search, since you activated the effect of the added monster, you can go for your wind-up rat, having the play target and activate your wind-up factor as well, and then grabbing you the additional monster from the graveyard for that summon as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I want to continue to update the wind-up deck as regularly as I can, just until we finally see some potential changes on the ban list for wind-ups and Meiji. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.